Hello Linux lovers, my name's Wimpy, welcome to my world. The pre-game, we just missed Yannick landing a good one, I think. Hello, good morning Paul, how are you? Always first with the hellos. Welcome back everyone, thank you all for stopping by again. Let's just outline what we're going to be looking at this morning. I've got some catching up to do on Deb-get and Quickemu. I think Quickemu should be relatively quick. Did a couple of releases of that in the recent months, but Deb-get is far from being release ready, the current master branch, so I need to take a look at that, and we may need to make some hard decisions about what we do with that project. And I see Phil is here, which is good because Phil has been helping keep that project moving in the right direction. So, gosh, there's a lot of you here this morning, so good morning everyone. Hey Backrest, welcome. Thank you for stopping by, welcome to the stream. Hello Taylor, Dev, Yannick, Clutch Dean, Nuno, who goes by WSL Corsair, Little Trucker Man. There is a bunch of you in here. I saw you playing the game before we get going, so that's all good. Now, I'm going to ask you all to do a thing for the purposes of science. So I want you to type, but don't press return yet. Type the distro and version that you're using. Don't press return. I'm going to give you a few seconds and I'm going to give you a countdown, and then you can all hit return. And the reason I'm asking you to do this is that I want to look at the videos and the recordings afterwards and figure out latency offsets for the various platforms that I'm streaming to and what have you. So everyone get ready with your favorite distro or current distro and version number. Hello, good morning Takov, how you doing? And I'm going to count you in a few seconds. In fact, I'm going to do it now. I think enough time should have elapsed that everyone's heard the message. So 3, 2, 1, now. And hopefully in a few moments I will start seeing those messages come through. Oh, that's come through a lot quicker than I anticipated. That's fantastic. This is good news. Okay. I'm very happy with that. Thank you all very much for those of you that opted in to do that. Particularly the Windows 10 user, Kashantzes, or Kashanks, welcome to the stream. Thank you for stopping by and thank you for helping out. Right, that tells me that this is pretty good. This is quite tight to my broadcast and what you all see, so that's fab. Right then, so let's take a look at the projects. In fact, before we get as far as the projects, what I was doing last stream, and we'll see if it's working, is I was tinkering with my website, and I did end up fixing the problems that I was having. We had two issues at the end of these jiggering arounds. The first was that the contact form wasn't working, and it now does. That turned out to be a typo in the phone number validation field, so the phone number was never validating, which is why that wasn't working. And the other was the live stream embed, which is now working, and I fixed this by changing the live push embed to the Twitch embed, and we've got a little bit inception going on there. But the reason I did that is that when Twitch is not live, this embed automatically shows your upcoming stream schedule and also a link to the last stream, which I thought was actually quite a useful feature. So I ended up switching to a different solution. But anyway, managed to get those bits done, so I'm happy with that. We've now got a website that functions, a couple of new bits and bobs on there, and I will start writing up a lot of my notes that I've got now in Notion. So there's another thing. And I'm going to be putting a lot of stuff in the blog and then linking that with videos and clips from live streams and what have you to sort of try and capture all of the information in one place. Yes, Paul, Notion is fantastic. I got a tip from my friend and yours, Popey, At his new job, they use Notion, and I took a look and I love it. And I've migrated everything over from, I was using standard notes, but I also imported a whole bunch of backups from other note-taking things I've used in the past. I have all of it in Notion now, and I'm in the process of even setting up all of my to-do lists and tasks and what have you in Notion. And so then I can stop using Todoist. Have everything in one place. Right, so that's enough catch up from the last stream. So I think I'm going to start with Quickemu, because I expect this to be the slightly easier bit of catch up. So if we look through here, we've got some pull requests and some issues. I think what we'll do is we'll look at the pull requests first, see if any of those resolve issues, and then I'll go and take a look at the issue tracker. So Paul says that they use a combination of Notion and WoodNotes on iPad for taking notes. Yeah, so one of the things I'm trying to do, this is not a New Year's resolution, this is just something I've been doing quietly in the background, is trying to minimize the number of different things that I'm using and consolidate where I'm doing stuff. I've got a lot going on, and I find that I've got too many places to look at and track, so I'm trying to focus everything down into as few places as possible. And Notion does a fantastic job of providing one place where I can have not just like notes for the projects I'm working on, but stuff that we're doing at home and task lists for stuff that need doing at home, all nicely organized. So just trying to reduce the number of services, and that includes like streaming services that I subscribe to as well. Right then, and I still don't have an iPad pull. Stop tempting. I am going to get one for sure. Right then, although I think I should probably get one for my daughter first, but you know. Anyway, I changed my Android tablet setup, so it's fine again. Right then, let's take a look here. So we've got add some things to the project, which is good. This Ubuntu server support, I think this is looking a bit ancient now, and it's got conflicts and unaddressed feedback, so I'm just going to let that one pass for the moment. Thank you, Phil, for doing the reviews on that. So I think this one, I added some other stuff recently which dealt with this, or at least some of it. Yeah, so extra args and show args. So I'm not sure about the show args, I'm not sure that that's helpful, but I added stuff which fixes Windows boot, I'm pretty sure, because that came by way of some other feedback or pull requests. So let's just take a look here. Yeah, that was that was fixing the Windows boot issue. And so I think what we'll do is we'll reference this commit and say Windows boot is fixed via. Or just request that they do that for now. So I'm going to close and comment with that one there. So, WoodNotes. So, return to skeuomorphism. I've seen, it's interesting you should say that, King Egypt. So, King Egypt notes that should be a return to skeuomorphism where you have a chisel your notes using the Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil's got me, not confused, I suppose conflicted. It seems not even Apple quite know what to do with their pencils. Their backwards and forwards support, and supporting the Lightning version 1 on USB-C only new iPads with a dongle. It's just mental. Right then, so that's one down, because that's been ready fixed via different means. So let's see what we've got now. Okay, well, Linux Mint new release. This should be a fairly straightforward review and addition. Yep, that looks good. So we'll approve that and we'll pull that one in. Rebase and merges. Fine, there's only one. There was only one commit, wasn't there? That's what we'll do then. We'll bring that in. Okay. So let's have a little look here. What have we got left now? Haiku. This pull requests. I tell you what, it's been a while since I've tried Haiku. I loved the look of BOS. Is everyone familiar with Haiku? Anyone out there actually used it in anger, or have you just played with it in virtual machines? I think it looks beautiful. I mean, even though it's in air quotes old, it was very attractive, I thought. Okay, thank you. That looks good. Oop, let's get that one in. Okay, let's rebase and merge on that one. Nice. Okay, let's see what's next. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, so Clutchdeen says, I have fond memories, I think that's meant to be, of BIOS when I was using on the Amiga. I did not know it was something that ran on the Amiga. What Amiga were you running it on? How much RAM did it have? Did you have a hard disk? I suppose you must have done. I'd love to know more. Right then, fix the Pop! OS install. Well, that sounds important. Let's take a look, see what we got wrong. Alm. Oh, I see. I see. They're including Pop! OS in the change to the default disk allocation. Does Pop! OS really require so much disk space? Well, that's interesting. Huh. Okay. I'm just going to think on that for a moment. I might have to go and just check the Pop! OS website to make sure we're not doing something silly there. So, Phil Clifford has also... Hello, Phil. Good morning, by the way. So you've just played with BOS, but it is very pretty, a little nostalgic for BIOS. Yes. Yeah. I just loved the way it looked. It was... I think when I first used it, I think I'd got some esoteric Spark workstation at work that I was running Linux on, and I think we experimented with BOS as well, but even back, this is like the late 90s, early 2000s, I think, very early 2000s, and it was like browser support. There wasn't like a current version of Netscape available for it, which was kind of the deal breaker at the time. But I did go with a window manager that looked like BOS as a sort of a... It was either that or making everything look like Next Step with things like After Step and Window Maker and patches to the Zor widgets to make them all look like Next tools. So, Phil Clifford says that his Amiga had 6 megs of memory, crikey, and a 40 megabyte hard disk. Crikey, that is quite the Amiga, in fact. King Egypt says that they just lusted after BIOS and was sad when Apple didn't select it for their OS. Yeah, it was attractive. So, and also I never actually used next step. I used things that looked like it and sort of emulated its behaviors. But I really wanted that at the time as well. And so as I was using Linux at the time, I can remember spending a lot of time making things look like either BOS or Next Step. I think I had mostly Next Step looking stuff at work and BOS looking stuff at home. Right. Oh, I see. You couldn't run it on the Amiga. I see. Everything was down to 256 colors. Oh yeah, I remember early Linux having to choose which window was going to get all of the video memory for the color spaces. You know, so the browser would render with 32-bit or 24-bit color, and then everything else was 256 color. Right, okay, let's just do a little bit of research here. I'm going to suggest that maybe Pop! OS doesn't need 32 gig, but what do I know? Because I haven't looked in ages. Let's see if they've got specifications page. 20 gig of storage. There we go. So, this is not their website, of course. No, it says 20 gig here as well. Okay, so 20 gigs. So if we're allocating 32 by default, that seems reasonable. The default, I think, for Quickemu is 16. So I'm going to say, looks like Pop! OS. Is that how you do it? I think it is, isn't it? Requires 20 GB. So this looks like a sane default. Thanks. And we'll approve that one. Oh, Gopher. You're talking about the service, the card service before the web, right, King Egypt? Right. Where was that? What was I doing? We were merging, rebase and merge that one. Yeah. So I got into it. I didn't do any streams on this, but I got into. I've got a book somewhere. As I look around the other corners, way back in the 90s, I bought a book called The Tips and Tricks of the Internet Gurus, and it was brilliant. It was stuff like really how to use like Usenet, Gopher, Archie, if you remember that, you know, a whole bunch of sort of the early protocols. And I loved Gopher. And I loved plan files. And I got into creating nice ASCII art plan files recently. And I was seriously thinking about exposing plan files and a Gopher server on my stuff. Hey, hello there. Right, let me just get this. This is somebody that I actually got to meet recently. Hey Padja, how you doing? Good to see you again. In fact, I've got the shirt on. This is where we met. We met at the Ubuntu Summit in October. Thank you very much for stopping by. Good to see you, so to speak. You got your t-shirt on? Right. Yes. Padja is lovely. I had a lot of fun there. Hey, Velcro Tech. Hello. Welcome. What are you up to? Yes. Missed the last one. I'm just getting back into things. Had a bit of a hiatus. We're getting back to normal now. Initial support for TrueNAS. Okay. So there are many Linux server distributions. Okay. In a VM. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna turn it down if somebody sees a use for it. So what have we got here? We've got TrueNAS. Okay, so there's two versions, or editions, and then multiple releases. Okay. Boots Legacy. What's this? Okay, so what have we got there? This doesn't look Phil, does this look like something Quickemu supports by default? I don't think it does, but okay. Okay. So, yeah, Clutchdean, I think you're right. When I look back at stuff, I mean, when I look at my desktop right now, my Linux desktop right now, the very fact that I'm live streaming, I mean, I take it for granted, but that would have blown my tiny little mind back when, let's say, when Ubuntu was just getting started in 2004. Yeah, things have come on a real long way. Like, I can remember the early days, I remember Real Media and getting excited about AM quality radio over your dial-up internet connection. Well, I think what I'm going to do is accept this one. Oh dear, pardon me. Let's see, what's Takov suggesting here? So Takov says, would it be a good idea to make a function to turn your Quickemu image after testing into a permanent libvirt compatible? It's a great idea. I'm not going to do it. I just don't have any interest in that myself. If somebody wants to write an auxiliary tool that could do that, then I'd totally link to it in documentation. That would be fine. But the whole point, the origin of Quickemu is I carry around USB sticks in my backpack, and one of the things I have on those high capacity USB sticks is a whole bunch of virtual machines, and I want to be able to run them entirely from in the user context with no like root permissions required, which is why I sidestep using libvirt and all of that good stuff. So I realise it's an idiosyncratic requirement, but nevertheless it's like an actual sort of objective. Thanks. Right, we'll take this, and if it doesn't work, then somebody's on the hook for improving it. Rebase and merge that one. Confirm the rebase and merge. Okay. And Takov, the other thing to consider with regards to what you were just suggesting is, and these sorts of streams are going to start to diminish. I want to try and get some of these projects to a point of sort of a happy place, and then I'll probably sort of maintain these just off stream, because I really want to get to the Nix stuff. I'm champing at the bit to really start that learning journey, and Nix provides a whole bunch of tooling to spit out containers and virtual machines and what have you. So I think, you know, I see some of these tools being not required in a Nix world. And when I talk about Nix, I don't mean necessarily just Nix OS, but using Nix on any Linux distro. And in fact, I think one of the issues in the tracker here, it was somebody trying to get Quickemu working on Debian, and they actually ended up doing it by installing Quickemu via Nix on Debian, which I find very interesting. So we'll see that in a bit probably. Yeah, totally, Takov. All passengers welcome. I am doubling down on this whole Nix thing. For me, for developer environments, for building Pi images, for building virtual machine images, for building PC, there's just so much stuff I don't have to write and work around if I get on board with Nix. So that's the direction of travel for me now. Oh, well, even better. So, Takov, if you have already learnt a few things, then you've probably learnt things I haven't yet. I was doing some reading this morning, I'm going to have to start sort of sharing what I've found. And again, the blog will be a mechanism for doing that. I did think about forum posts in the Discord, which are great because I am in Discords that use that, but they're not like very discoverable outside of the Discord. So I'll have a think about how I like integrate forum posts with blog posts in some way. So Quickemu and Quickget. What's FZF? Okay, well, let's have a look. What is this? Okay, I'm gonna have to do some. I don't even know what this is, so let's go and find out. A command line fuzzy finder. Okay. Interactive Unix filter for the command line that can be used with any list, files, command history, processes. Okay. Interesting. And what's the application here? Uses FZF to provide a simple GUI for Quickemu and Quickget. Oh, interesting. I think this one I'm actually going to have to pull this down and run it. So I'm not going to merge this just yet. I'm going to actually have a play with that. Oh, thanks, Phil. Do you want to point me at where the syntax error is, and maybe I can get in and do something about that? Nice use of the messages, by the way, to get my attention. I've been trying to think of a way, because I notice sometimes I miss what people are saying, and I need a way to sort of, like, you know, capture my attention, but that's a great way of doing it. Leah, point me at where the error is and I'll take a look. This is very interesting. I will not merge that right now. I'm going to take a look at that. Let's just add that. This looks very interesting. Right then. Okay, 1473, Phil says, hello Luke, good morning, how's your good self? Right then, 1473, I guess then I should probably switch over here. Let's just bring my local copy up to speed. Okay. And where are we? And let's... is it Quickemu itself that's got the problem, Phil? And what line did you say? Good morning. Yes, well done, Luke. It was briefly the Kraken. I don't know if any of you that are using Gitkraken, they've changed their little animation recently. I quite like it. I was thinking of contacting them to see if they would send me like a rendered version of it. Oh, it's in Quickget. Oh, okay. Right, 1473. Gosh, this is a long script. Come on, brain. Okay, well, first thing I can see is we need to do that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there it is. That's it. One space too many. Right then, let's save that. And let's go back to the glorious Gitkraken and just do that. What's this? Hey, Esme, how you doing? Yes, it is a shameless referral plug. I'm trying to get enough referral points to win a Tesla, apparently. I'm not trying to win a Tesla. Ah, yes, the Shonky shell scripts. Not for too much longer. We're going to be learning Nix, and I may do a bit dabbling with Rust, but of course Flutter is on my agenda as well. So, oh gosh, look at that. Look at all of that white space that got yanked by just hitting save there. Right, let's just stage all of... Well, let's just stage the fix, shall we? These lines. There we go. That is actually the fix.
Thank you for the follow, name think.
Thank you very much. Name think, is that how we're pronouncing that? It's so difficult to interpret all of these. So we'll take that one. Oh, hello. Oh, I need to put the... there we go. Right then. And then we'll just do the white space cleanup here. Stage that. Okay. Let's get that done. Okay. I'll push those up whilst I'm here, because then Phil can... Oops. Phil can let me know if those are actually fixed now. Right then, so where were we? We're gonna just pause on that one. Endeavour OS, okay, well, this should be a straightforward one. What are we looking at here? Why has Endeavour OS got so many things? Who understands, oh, excuse me, Endeavour OS enough to Apollo, Artemis, Artemis Neo, Artemis Nova? Are these the equivalent of adjective animal with a version banged on the end? Is that what we're looking at? So what did we do? We had Cassini added, which is their release from December. Let's just go and have a look. I don't actually know what Endeavour OS is. Is it Arch based? Terminal centric. Every desktop imaginable. Okay. Yeah, looks like it's Arch based. Okay then. So. That's unfortunate, but okay. Oh, is that more white space being cleaned up? Okay, we'll accept that. It's fine. Right then. Let's get that done. And rebase and merge that one. I'm pretty sure this song did this to me the other day. There's like a load of dead air at the end of it. Here we go. New stream. So I have got something new running to keep the stream going at the moment. You'll have seen that the little Spotify notification, I mean, I've had that for a while. But I used to have this thing called the dispatcher that was responsible for making sure those Spotify track changes got picked up and what have you. And also does stuff like this. If I'm in the code view and I put the mouse over the chat here, it fades the chat out, and that's if ever I need to maximize a window, like, well, or this in fact, if I want to go up here to where the window controls are, it also fades out those stats automatically. So that was running in a separate process that I called the dispatcher, but I've moved all of those processes into the advanced scene switcher within OBS now, which it actually makes them a lot more responsive, so that's pretty great. Right then, let's get Majaya. Gosh, hang on. Majaya. Is this origined to Mandrake? Have I got that right? Oh, hello. Hello, Nuno. Do not adjust your sets. This is normal, apparently. Although my animated lights aren't working, I do need to fix that. It is. Okay. So let's go and have a look at what we've got here. Files changed 5. Okay, so they've changed the man pages as well, and the docs. Gosh, Phil, how good is that? Okay, oh, it's the first introduction of Majaya. Crikey. Well, there we go. So, version 8, they've got Plasma, GNOME, and XFCE. Disappointed face. Okay, we've got an addition, an ISO image, a release, a hash. I mean, I just have to assume that people are getting this stuff right. If it breaks, we'll go and fix it. So we'll approve that. It's got all the right bits in the right places. Whether they work or not, we'll find out. Okay, WSL. So Nuno is giving me a history lesson. This is a lineage of distros. So it was Mandrake to Mandriva, yes, and then Majaya. Okay. Okay, Phil, I've seen this message. TrueNAS still. Is that telling me it's still broken? Can you just provide a bit more information? Balked in the same place. Oh, okay. Right, thanks, Phil. I'll go and take a look. There we go. So Phil says it's still broken in the same place. Well, let's get this in, and then we'll go and take another look at what was it now? TrueNAS. Okay, I think we're down to this, which we've said we're going to look at another time, and that which I think it is in need of some work. So let's go and take a look at TrueNAS. What could possibly be wrong here? Oh well, we don't need that, do we? Ah, we do actually on that one. We do on that one, but not on this one, I believe. Oh, there's two errors there. There's that as well. So why did they put this in double square braces? I see there's no regex in there. There's no string comparison other than a regular. So I can't see why double quotes is required there. I'm going to do that. And then we'll come down here and we'll do Quickget and just nothing. There we go. Is that suitable enough test, Bill, that it's working? The fact that I can just get it to... we've got... we should have TrueNAS in that list somewhere. Can't see it for looking. There it is, TrueNAS. So let's just do TrueNAS. And that tells us we can have core and 22 or 13. They are very different version numbers. What? Okay, well 22 sounds newer than 13. Oh, is it got to be the other way around like this? What? This doesn't work at all, does it? Oh, the core. If it's 13, you get core. Otherwise, it's scale. So hang on. This whole thing's busted, isn't it? So. Well, it's no longer broken, it just doesn't work. Release an OS. Okay. Well, not being familiar with this, I'm not sure what to do about this. So, a release. Well, let's just try 13. Why has it got an asterisk there? This all seems unnecessary. We've only specified 13.0 in the list. So let's do that. Is a directory. Well, it doesn't error anymore, Phil, but I don't think it works, so we may kick that out entirely. I am going to leave it like so for the moment. So let's just go and push that in as okay. I'll push that up and you can let me know, Phil, if whoopsie, let's just cancel. There we go. Let's get that done. Right, okay, good. So what I'm going to do now is head back over here and have a look through some issues and see what we've got left. Support CPU pinning. Oh, pardon me. Right then, that is going to be an enhancement and not one I'm particularly interested in implementing. Bill, you make a good point here. Yeah, that is a good solution. You could configure it bespoke. Okay. Thank you, King Egypt. Localization support. Sadly, it's not possible. So the reason that this is not possible is that because we run a bunch of commands in a shell script and then we pass the output of those commands in order to determine what needs to happen, we need to treat the language that those commands output as like our API. And if we allow internationalization, you need to be able to interpret the output from the commands in multiple languages, which is beyond a nightmare, which is why at the top of these files we do this to ensure that everything is run in the embedded language, which is usually US English for most projects. So this is unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's treated as My gosh. Try that. There we go. Let's just grab this. So there we go, is what are you telling me there? Okay, so we're going to close that one with a comment, and we're going to, I think the next one is the same request, isn't it, or a similar request. So that was 614. 614. Okay, close with comment, and this we'll call a duplicate, and we'll come back and do this one here. We'll just say labels won't fix. Okay, there we go. That's that sorted. So let's take a little look at what we've got left here. Is this old? Opened last week? There used to be an issue for this one. I'm also having this issue on Ubuntu. Okay, well let's download URL not leading to a Microsoft CDN. Okay, we got a PR to do that stuff, didn't we? So let's do this. Let's actually run this. So actually, here we go. We've got a whole bunch of random stuff here. We've got a Windows. Let's just do a So let's do development Quickemu, Quick-get, and Windows. So, okay, that's true. So that's now broken. So we need to go find that bit of code and find out why it's broken. Okay, so clearly the base URLs is not coming from there anymore now. So let's just do this. Let's just add download URL in here and see what we're getting back. Run that again. Okay, so it's just coming from a different. Let's go and fix that then. Windows 11. Failed. What? Why did it fail? Is everything failing to download? Hello, Ivanhoe, how you doing? Why is everything failing to download? Oh, because that is not an actual URL to a thing. Oh, okay, so this is going to need more work. Bother. Okay. Appears there is some problem with one of the third-party sites being used to get the I get 403. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. That'll explain it then. Okay, thank you, Phil. The service we use is giving 500 errors. Same here. Okay. Well. Though we're not going to be able to do anything about that anytime soon, are we? We're going to have to consider steering people towards using their pre-downloaded ISO images. So we may have to remove Windows from Quickemu. So actually what I'm going to do is do that. Because we do think that maybe leading to the Microsoft CDN. So let's do that. Download URL. Let's just do that for now. Okay, that is a workaround at the very least, because it at least instructs people what on earth to do next. Hey Ivanhoe, how you doing? What are we up to? Okay, so I'm catching up on a backlog of stuff, 2 projects in particular. Quickemu, which is for standing up VMs on Linux, for different things, for different distros and Windows and Mac and what have you. So I'm just catching up on that, getting that knocked up in good shape so we can put out a new release, and then I'll be having a stab at catching up with Deb-get as well. So just, I've been unavailable for a few months, so a few projects haven't had the attention I would normally give them, so I'm just catching up. Right, we're going to recite this. So this is 612. And we'll use that for the moment. Let's have a look here. Bill Clifford says, how many hours trying to support Windows and Mac? It isn't simple for them to do all the associated driver stuff. Yeah, you make a good point. Mind you, if you downloaded the ISO image, yeah, you make a good point, Phil. I'm just going to poke this in though as some evidence that we are aware there is a problem, and I'm going to go away. I know I've seen it's a dirty solution, and I'm not sure I want to implement it. It's dirtier than what we were doing, but I've seen a solution which is effectively screen scraping the Microsoft download page to get the stuff out of it. So we use this thing, don't we? At what point does it spit out errors? Yeah, I will put this in as an acknowledgement for the time being. Okay, Windows downloads are not working. More. Okay, let's just... Whoops, that's the wrong button. Nice one, Phil. Okay, let's just push that up. And there's a new pull request, apparently. So, let's just see. We should see that. Oh, what was that comment here? Same here, even if I tried it. Yeah. Okay. We'll label that as a bug, since it is. Windows 10 or 11 not booting. Well, we can also go and test that, can't we? Because we do have a downloaded version. So Quickemu, Windows 10. Let's do delete to throw it away and run it again and see if it boots. It's probably off screen, so I'll drag that down. There we go, that booted just fine. I suspect they don't have the tools installed to do the interaction with the monitor. So I'm just going to kill that one. We'll do the same for Windows 11. Hello Graham, how are you doing? And we'll do that one again. We'll just see if that boots okay. I have to drag this, has a habit of putting the window on the primary monitor by default. There we go. That boots too. Using current master, so that's fine. So we'll just head over here to the issue and say I can't reproduce this issue. Windows 10 and 11 both boot fine for me. What distro are you using? And do you have SoCat installed is what we need, isn't it? Okay. So we will comment there and we're going to ask for more info. I see Nuno saying something, so I'm just going to do that. So Nuno says the error comes after pressing any touch. No, I don't think so. So that press any key to boot from CD or DVD is what you see, and if you don't do anything, you then see that pixie mess come out on the screen. But what we implemented a little while back is to enable the QEMU monitor, and if you've got SoCat installed, what it'll actually do is bind that monitor and send a key press down it when Windows is being booted to automatically progress past that. So I think their issue is they're not focusing the window quick enough in order to press a key, which is why we implemented this monitor and shoving key presses down it, or they don't have SOCAT or the other tool, which I forget the name of, installed, which is the mechanism by which we shove the key presses around. Yeah, does that make sense though, Nuno? I mean, I will acquiesce to your superior Windows knowledge, because, you know, this is me, a Linux nerd, trying to make Windows work, and there's only so much I know about that. But I think that's the order of things. Screen issue. Okay, why are you passing a screen parameter to it, I wonder? Okay, alright, thank you for the confirmation, Nuno, that's good. Thank you. Oh, what's this? Clutchdeen says, tagged you on a possible workaround on Discord. A workaround for what? Did you copy me on? Let me know. Switching to Discord will do weird things to the stream because I've got it on another virtual workspace. So that is obviously an Android thing. What's... Okay. Start, manage existing, click by. Without any status bar or other features. I'll have to look into that one. I'm not going to do that now. Beginner question. Okay. For details on how to figure and use Quickemu. Please see the documentation for details on how to configure and use Quickemu. If you have questions, please join our Discord. Right. Right then, let's do that, because Phil's far too helpful, but general support requests, not what GitHub issues are for. Right. Create a larger disk than default. Yes, this is documented. In the README. Gosh, there we go. Okay. I simply can't. Okay, so Clutch says that it's a potential workaround for the Windows 10 ISO. Okay, Fabo. I will take a look at that after. I'm not going to switch to Discord now, but that's something we can take a little look at. Mac OS not working on WSL. Okay, Nuno, you're up. I am not Not even gonna try. I mean, okay, I will completely believe that it doesn't work, but I'm not gonna figure out how to make that work. Okay, oops. So I'm prepared to believe it, but I'm not going to figure it out. macOS, how the hell is that thing? Well, what they're doing is they're trying to run Quickemu on WSL, and then they want to run macOS inside it, and I suspect it's an issue whereby you can't do the embedded nested VMs. I suspect is what it's going to be. But Nuno, you probably know exactly what this is. If you do have a suggestion as to what the root cause is, yeah, I was going to say, Graham, it's just like, I don't even have a readily available machine in order to test it. Yeah, because, yeah, if you're using WSL, it's effectively in a VM. That's Ubuntu in a VM, and then you're trying to run another VM inside a VM. And nested virtualization is a thing, but I'm pretty certain that macOS does not install, not support it, and I don't think WSL does either. I could be wrong. Nuno will know. Okay, what else have we got here? Feature request. Okay, well, we'll mark that accordingly. I want to know if it's possible to install a VM on a separate SSD or an unused partition. No, this is not that is not a supported configuration. I suspect that another tool will do that there. VMception, yes, tailored dev. Close with comment and then change that to we're not going to fix that one. Okay. Don't know, I'm looking at the time. I'm going to struggle to get onto anything else. Ah, this I remember. This is from way back. Okay. LVM integration. What's this? No, it's the same. Number harvesting operation. Right, okay. What was that last issue? We'll change this from enhancement to won't fix. We'll go back and in fact, maybe I can just do this. 597. Yeah, 597. No. There we go. So, King Egypt says just Mac OS, so other images work? I'm not sure what the question is, King Egypt. Just provide me a bit more to go on, and I'll see if I can answer your question. Yeah, I know, that's annoying, that one. I can't find the answer to that. I have to press enter. Yeah, I couldn't reproduce that. This we know about. This is the one that I was referring to earlier. VM nesting in WSL. Yeah, so this is the question that you're inquiring. From memory, I don't think WSL allows nested virtual machines. I don't think. Now we do enable all of the relevant, what do they call, Hyper-V enlightenments, so that as much of the sort of pass-through into the Windows subsystem, well, not the Windows subsystem, but the Hyper-V system, we exploit. So I don't know if that's changed since the last time I tested it or not, but the last time I tested it, you couldn't nest VMs in WSL. So this was the interesting one, installing Quickemu on Debian 11, and there's a whole load of backwards and forwards about trying to use the PPA. That's clearly not the solution, obviously. And then there's this here, which I think is brilliant. Oh, I found a workaround. I'm using Nix to install Quickemu from Nix. Fabulous. So I'm not going to comment on that one at the moment, but I just think that's an interesting turn up. Line breaks in the generated script. I'm just going to say, yeah, pull requests welcome. I'm not going to. We've already marked it accordingly. Nixception, I know, it's good, isn't it? So that is possibly a bug, but I need to actually get an Ubuntu machine to test it, and again needs to be an actual Ubuntu hardware, which I do have on a laptop, but I'm not going to test that now. Okay, well, we've got through some of the bugs and we've got through most of the pull requests. Bangers and mashers me. Oh yeah, I could fancy some of that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll park that there, because we've got some information in Discord apparently to have a little look at. So I will just park that there, and then maybe later, is it Monday today? Maybe later I'll take a look at that and see if we can get some fixes in for that Windows Quick-get stuff. So I think we'll just draw a little line under Quickemu for now, and we will turn our attention to Deb-get. Cold cup of tea. What have we got here? We've got a whole bunch of pull requests. So some of these are going to be trivial and others are going to be more complicated. So this one I think is wedged. I don't think that's moved on anywhere. Phil's got a draft, so we won't look at that one just now. So Phil, this one here, it wasn't clear to me when I looked at these if you were saying this was a fix or a proposal or a draft. It's not marked as a draft. Is this a genuine, like, not a genuine, is this a hard requirement, this one, to unblock something? Looks like it's specifically required so Kinetic works. Is that what that's about? I need to circle back to MergerFS as well, because there's something I need to set up that will use it, so maybe we'll get to talk about that. So this uses the available jammy release on Kinetic so we don't break. Okay, I understand now. Oh, that was it. It was this comment here I saw. Yes, it's Kinetic. So it's required. So I saw this and it wasn't clear to me if the proposed fix was still required. Are you saying that it is still needed? Oh, I see. You've done an update. This was the update. I see. Okay. I will get this merged then. Okay. Let's get that one in. Right then, let's squash that one because it's got a couple of commits. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm in the wrong place entirely. So again, I'm going through the pull requests first so that any issues that get fixed. Now, okay, Phil, I've had a look at this one. I don't understand why... No, I do understand. I simply don't agree that we should be shipping these JSON files here. I have some deep concerns about the aggressive caching that is trying to be done in Deb-get, and I don't think we should be doing any of it. So I'm not going to merge this one. Hello, White Panther. Hello there. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. So I don't think I'm going to merge this one. And in fact, I'm tempted to go in and remove a lot of the attempts to cache things from the code that we've got, because I feel like that is creating an astonishing amount of buffer bloat. And this pursuit of optimization, so far I haven't seen yield any performance benefits, so I'm inclined to pull a lot of this stuff out. So I'm going to decline this one, Phil. Keep it around if you feel that there's some value in here, but I don't think pulling down all of these, what are now several weeks old files as a pre-cache is helpful. I'd rather it be slower and accurate, I think. Glad you're doing well. Have you been streaming today, White Panther? So, great. So, Phil, you say you agree and you're using it. So you're using this branch at the moment. Is that what you're saying? You're using this particular branch. I'm not sure we need all of this though, right? We don't need all of the pre-cache stuff. So if you think there's value here, I'll welcome like a refactored PR, but I don't want to see all of these pre-cached files in here. I think that's too much unnecessary. I heard I like buffering. Talking about buffering, I'm breaking all the rules, by the way. So when I'm in the lodge, I always stream over Wi-Fi, and now I stream over Wi-Fi at home. I'm going to demonstrate why in an upcoming stream and blog post, and I'm going to assert that it's absolutely fine to stream over Wi-Fi, and in some cases, better to stream over Wi-Fi. So, right. So I'm gonna leave this one alone, Phil. We can discuss this one in Discord and see if we want to like consider working on that or refining it. Okay, let's have a look here. So, without them, users without the API key will break because the two. Yes, I understand. So, and that's my point. That API key requirement is only now an issue because of the way that other caching mechanism was added, which basically exhausts all the API limit by trying to pre-cache everything, which it didn't used to do, and it was by design. It was by design to only go and get the repositories that it actually had for the software it had installed, to limit the API usage. So anyone that's coming into the application as a first use doesn't need to know that they need to go and get GitHub API keys if they're going to be a big user. So if this is a fix to fix that other thing, which I don't think should be there either, then I think, like my initial assertion, that some of this overuse of caching in the pursuit of unnecessary performance optimizations, in my opinion, is probably not what we need to be doing. So, Cludgestein says, I remember when Wi-Fi added huge latency. Yes, that did. This is like, that is an accurate statement from the past. But when I was testing over my, because I was using home plug Ethernet to get from here downstairs to the router, that home plug Ethernet has way more latency and jitter than the Wi-Fi 6 network that I have here. So I've just put a high gain antenna up here, and consequently I now get much faster, lower latency, low jitter. Yeah, okay, all right, Phil, we'll continue to discuss this whole X repos without caching in Discord, but in my opinion this is why we're not releasing a new version of Deb-get, because that caching policy as it currently exists in the main branch is broken, in my opinion, and we simply can't release until it's fixed. So I'm not going to get to that this moment, this stream, but I'm definitely going to have to tackle that, I think. So we know what that is. Add fast fetch. So this should be fairly straightforward, adding a new bit of software, so we'll totally have that. I saw this is neo fetch but implemented in C, right? So we'll have that. Now the other thing to consider is that some of this stuff here that Deb-get is doing, some of these command line tools, maybe all of these command line tools, are great examples of why Nix would be a better way to get that software, and maybe Deb-get needs to shift focus away from like command line tools. I mean, I'm kind of riffing here, but you know, because that door is closed to us because Deb-get is what it is and does what it does, and it's got a bunch of software in it, so removing it's like no good. But yeah, a lot of this stuff that I've been using Deb-get for, I'm pivoting to Nix for a lot of it now. Okay, so for a recent transient breakage, okay, with its poor name, filtering out the betas. Okay, that looks sensible. Thank you, Phil. Understand why you're doing that one. We'll get that merged. Oh, did I choose squash that? I didn't mean to do that. Bother. So, Graham says, I remember when my Wi-Fi network was a couple of Bluetooth dongles. Yeah. King Egypt. Oh no, Clutchdine says, home plugs and Powerline had their day. Yeah, Wi-Fi has surpassed it now. Yeah, indeed. I don't have structured cabling in the house, so I was using home plugs as a way to get from parts of the house to other parts of the house, and that was fine when we didn't have fibre at home, and then when we had the fibre put in, the home plugs simply can't deliver anywhere near the performance that your outbound, fibre connection has. So what I'm thinking of having done, because I did have, for historical reasons, I had Ethernet from the front of the house round the outside of the house through a hole in the wall down here and coming out along the back here, and that's what from back in the day when I used to have ISDN down here. I'm thinking of having a cabling company come in and put that, because all of the stuff still exists, but put an Ethernet cable in from there so I can get down to the downstairs router from here, but over like a Cat 6, Cat 7 cable, so that I can, because the Wi-Fi works great, but it's not consistently the full fiber sort of capability. Hello, Tommy. Yo, 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 indeed. How you doing? I'm very well. How are you? Yeah, PCMCI. I've still got some of those, actually. Some of those old PCIe gold cards, I think they were called. Right then, let's go and see the next PR. Oh, Tommy, I'm sorry to hear that you're stressed. Well, look, I'm going to be getting big into NICs soon, so do keep alert, because I think I'll need your help. Or, if not your help, your encouragement. Veracrypt. Okay. So what's changed here? Oh, yes, I know this PPA. This is trusted. I know the developer. We will take that. Yes, thank you. Nice one. We don't squash and merge that. We will rebase and merge. Right then. Yeah, I'm on the mend, Tommy. Doing okay. So, regular streaming schedule back on. I'm going to have a go at doing my morning schedule this week. So, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But, I'm going to, at some point, I'm going to think about that and try and figure out how I can squeeze in some evening streams. But, need to consider that around podcasting schedules as well, so we'll have a think about that, because what is it? It's a recording week this week, so tomorrow night it's recording Linux Downtime. I think it must be episode 64. Add the sound indicator. Okay, let's have a little look here. What have we got? Sound indicator. Let's just go and take a look at that. Where are we? Is it that one? Oh, silly boy. Let's just do that. Okay. It's up to date. Okay. So let's just take a look at current released, and what have we got? Sound switcher is in there. Okay, it's interesting that people feel they need this. I mean, I'm going to let it in, but my feeling is with most of the recent Ubuntu distros switching to Pipewire, I don't suspect this is actually useful anymore, because this requirement to keep switching interfaces, because Pulse Audio didn't do it right, is kind of done there. Yeah, is it work adding a... Oh, hang on, what's this? Let's have a look. Actually, so Tommy, we've discussed that. And we discussed this when we did the Ubuntu podcast as well, like live streaming the podcast. And Ubuntu podcast did for a little while sort of stream their recordings. But Joe makes a good point, and that's that what we record, because Joe edits for quality purposes, the Ubuntu podcast we used to record as live. We almost no edits whatsoever, but very, very rare. But with Linux Downtime, Joe edits and produces that, and he doesn't want people seeing like how the sausage is made, the raw sort of mistakes and warts and all. So no, we won't be streaming the production of that one. Right, let's see now. So King Egypt says, and what happens when other devices are transmitted? Do you get spikes in jitter? So Not yet, but then I've also put in QoS for my machine to squash everything else on the network. So I've not seen that, but I have tested when my wife and daughter are watching Netflix and stuff like that. But also going out, it's only 7.5 megabits, you know, the bit rate that I stream at, or at least what I stream to Twitch at. So it's not like it's competing for, you know, much available bandwidth. And I've got a 4 or 8 times aerial in the router, so it can cope for lots of devices at the same time. Okay. Is it work adding a pulse audio thing just now? What do you mean, Phil? Can you elaborate on that question a little bit for me? Yeah, live podcast. It's a discipline. You do it regularly. Your brain adapts. That's what we found with the Ubuntu podcast, and that's why we found the Ubuntu podcast team found it easier to do FOSS Talk live than most of the other podcasts, because we were in the habit of turning up and doing it live. Miss FOSS Talk live. I thoroughly enjoyed those events. No, that's fine, Tommy. All I said is I'm definitely all in on the Nix learning journey. So stay alert to streaming notifications, because if you're up for helping, great. And if you're not up for helping, then I'd like enthusiastic applause from the sidelines when I get in the learning pit. So help and encouragement, I think. So we've got a bit sidetracked here. So yeah, so I stream to Twitch at 7200 kbits and 1080p 60, and that's because I've tuned the behind out of NVENC in order to do all of that, and it seems to work very well. I'm very happy with those results. Right, so Phil says Oh yeah, I see what you mean. I see. I understand, Phil. Okay. Right. This one we will squash and merge. There could be somebody that's running that on, say, Ubuntu, for example, which haven't made the switch over to Pipewire, so I can see why some people would find this useful. Although I think it's on diminishing returns now. Right, this looks like it's going to be a shoe-in. Yep, that'll... We'll just take that one. There we go. What's Tommy up to here, by the way? If you need an easy, just import that. Okay. Well, Tommy, I think you're in the Discord, right? I'll pick your brains. Here's the thing that I'm wrestling with, and it's not like it's a problem, it's just an interesting thought exercise. As a distro maintainer, you think of, you know, the system being one whole thing. But now with Nix, what is the operating system, the core system, versus the applications that I want? Because I can use Home Manager and Flakes to define the apps that are specific to me, like for example Git, Kraken and VS Code, they no longer have to be part of the operating system. And then the additional subtlety of how much of my home configuration do I have sort of purely managed via Nix/Home Manager, and then what is clear is anything that's a language ecosystem, you know, if it's Go, Node, Ruby, Python, anything like that, then that should all be in, you know, ephemeral dev environments. That should never be on the system at all. So I find it interesting, there's sort of this layered approach to how you compose and manage sort of a Nix-based OS. I'm going to start by using Nix on Ubuntu because I think I need to do some work before I get to the point where I can use Nix as a daily driver. But what I am going to do is my new laptop, I'm going to start putting Nix OS on, and I'm going to use that as my learning Nix OS device. But I'm going to move my dev environments on Ubuntu all over to Nix managed stuff. Yes, so this is what I'm just starting to learn, Tommy. This is great. That you can separate Flakes and Home Manager, so they're distro independent. I intend to do that. Yes, and I shall create the shells, and what I'm wanting to do, I've read a little bit, I can see I can integrate that with dirn. So if I move into a directory which defines the flake for the environment I need, it will just automatically get stood up underneath where I am, and I want that so much in my life it hurts. Which is why I'm finding, like, thinking, right, my responsibility is to some projects that I've already got on the go, I really need to get in here and make these good, is kind of frustrating me, because I honestly don't want to be doing this right now, but I've got a duty of care on these projects, so you know, I've got to follow through on some commitments there. Well, Paul, it is a learning journey, and I don't have all the answers by any means. So if you're often here, so we'll hopefully learn together. And I'm hoping that there may be a few people from like the Nix world, like Tommy, who can sort of help ease the way. Another typo, wow. Okay, we'll just approve that one. Well, actually, we're going to get through a lot of these, so other than, I think what we'll do is we'll just try and get through it, look at every one of these PRs here. And we'll rebase and merge that and confirm that. So Tommy is currently setting up diverse shells for Flutter environments. Yes, Flutter is one of the main... I mean, I saw Yannick actually write about this. He was using my machine spawn in order to create different Flutter dev environments. And machine spawn is on, like, death watch now, because there's no reason for machine spawn to exist, so that will be, you know, getting archived at some point, I imagine, and moving over to, you know, Nix to do the same stroke similar thing. Yeah, so yes, I want it for Flutter, I want it for, well, everything, so many projects. No, you have more answers than me though, Tommy. So, you know, where we both run out of rope, then maybe we'll both learn something new along the way as well. Make Deb. Didn't we agree to not include Make Deb? I think I decided to not include this. Here we go. Nope, that one just got closed. Okay, so there are 2 issues. Okay, alright, fair enough. No, I didn't do that. So, let's have a look. This is just the usual addition, I assume. So there it is. Yep, okay. Looks good. Yeah, so Tommy, I've managed to find a few smart people as well. I say a few. There are lots of smart people in the Nix community. I have managed to identify a few who have graciously agreed to help me along the way. But I'm going to try and get as far as I can under my own steam using the various, learning material that's out there. And I'm just going to stumble through it, and I'm going to journal. One of the reasons why I was updating the website is so that I can catalogue my experiences as we go. ToneLib apps. What's this? What are these? Oh, all audio related stuff, are they? Or is it like guitar foot pedal type effects? Okay, so they all use a common pattern. Okay, what are they though? Let me go back and read that. Let's just say, yeah, okay, prove that. Okay. Nifty. There. We'll squash those. So, I don't know what to say with regards to inviting guests, but maybe... so, Matthew Krogan is somebody who I really want to meet. So, he's up there in that there Liverpool. And he runs the NixOS user group in Liverpool, and I am going to make the effort to go up to that in order to meet him. So yes, as far as he also does the Nix camp and a bunch of other stuff. So in the UK, he seems to be the most prominent member of the Nix community, and yes, I would like to meet him for sure. And then there's, lots of other people who are, in the Nix community from around the world who are amazing. And I've made friends with a few of them already. Add bash completion to the make file. Oh, right. Okay. Right. Thank you, Phil. Yeah, I've watched some of Matthew's presented at NixCon, I think it's called, in the past, and I've watched a number of these videos that are on YouTube from those events, and I think he's got a channel of his own, and he's got a few introductory pieces and stuff. Take a posse. I did discuss it with Popey. He wasn't going to stay for the user group, but Popey, he's got this interesting work pattern where he sits on a train all day. He takes his laptop and goes on a day trip on a train to somewhere far away and works all day sitting on the train with the scenery blazing past. And I said to him, well, I'm thinking of going up to Liverpool, so do you want to do a day trip to Liverpool? I'll probably stay overnight in order to go to the thing and then come back the next day. But he was like, oh yeah, okay, 4 hours there, 4 hours back. That's a working day. Right then. Let's have a look here. Media downloader. Another one. Okay. Okay, this has got a special note in it. Okay, do you think this kind of approach to getting LTS only releases in the hands of it? We do have to choose to take the risk this way rather than, I'm not sure. Should work for Ubuntu's and Debian's. No release yet for 22.10. Yeah, I'm not keen on that. I would like to make sure that a build targeted for a specific release. I mean, this is such a contradictory statement, but where people are making the effort to target releases, I think we should try and honour what the release they're going after. I'm gonna give this one a closer look. I remember looking at that one briefly the other day. So, a bunch of fixes. Yes, I remember seeing this one scroll past in my notifications. So, that's adding, and that's a genuine fix. I'm going to have to take both, I think, even though I prefer not to do that. So, we will not merge them. We will do this. We will just put a little note in here. To reject somebody's work on a very small second fix in there, but we'll use this as an opportunity to ask them to do things differently in the future. And we're just going to rebase. We don't want to squash because it's two distinct commits. Yes, I have seen that some of Matthew's stuff is advanced, and that's great. I've read some really fascinating stuff about having the operating system partition for a NixOS install have no state at all. So each time the machine is booted, there is zero system state other than what is configured to be managed and retained, and that's a bit like hardcore but kind of appealing, because one of this system, I think I installed actual Ubuntu on it at some point like ages ago, and then it became Ubuntu Mate, then it switched back to Ubuntu, then it switched back to Ubuntu Mate, and in between times it's been on 3 or 4 different computers, and I've arse-synced the file system off of different SSDs as I've moved between different systems. So there's a lot of cruft, and every so often I run into sort of weird problems, and I totally want to get away from all of that nightmarish tweaks and kludges and inherited cruft that you just sort of dragging around with you. I want to get to a much more organised way of doing things. Oh, and this one's definitely going in, Phil. Thank you. I saw this one earlier. So yeah, I think initially I'm going to do the simple things, but I do want to work towards far more complicated stuff.
Thank you for the follow, Itsishikawa.
Wow, that's a great name. I'm not going to try and pronounce that back. Itsishikawa, is that correct? Welcome to the stream, and thank you for the follow. We will just rebase that one. There we go. Right. Okay, we've managed to catch up on all of those. There's one there I want to take another look at. Phil is here, and we've discussed the potential issues around that one. So now we're left with some issues. Some of these will be bugs, and that's just going to get closed when it's ready. That looking bugs like that is extremely unhelpful. Right then. Problem with line 185. Didn't this one get fixed by one of the PRs? It did. This is fixed. This is fixed. Yes. Nice one. Okay. And that's fixed as well. Oh, so they just cited they didn't put the close statements in. Okay. Okay. Let's see now. How to test an addition. Add. So, can't add an external repository. Okay. I'm going to... What do I do with these? I think it's that, isn't it? Right then, we'll say I need to get this in like a snippet. If we have questions about using yeah. I'm not even going to look at it. I just like it's not appropriate. It's just impossible to keep trying to treat. So Phil, in the future, feel free to put words to this effect in issues like this where it's people requesting help. It's fine to request help, but Discord is the place to do that. My GitHub notifications are an absolute catastrophe at the moment. I'm trying to get a handle on them, so having stuff like this keep turning up is like not great. Right then, there we go. Let's go here. Support for one-time usage. What? Oh, I see. Okay, well, we'll add that as a potential enhancement. It's possible, I suppose. To classify and close. Okay, Phil, I will make sure you get the appropriate permissions. I thought I'd done that, but I will tinker with the GitHub groups and teams later. Make sure that you can do the right thing. Okay, these are all... These I need to go and look through to actually... Oh, media download is done, I think, isn't it? Didn't I see? Yes. That one's done. Oh, hang on. No, it's not done. Reopen. That's the one I didn't do. So I'll take a look through these later to make sure they're all sensible to, and they can just be tagged as add them. Exclude packages from installing. What's this? Can certain packages be excluded? No, I'm not going to get into that, I don't think. But I don't think I've got the energy to get into formulating a correct reply for that one at the moment. Right then, okay. So we'll go through and sort out these requests and give them an appropriate tag. That's all we need to do there. And okay. So Phil, is this still something that you're working on, this run your tests to push to main? I see it's still draft. Is it in progress or 708 is fixed already? Okay, let me go and take a look. Okay. Right, okay. Close this shit. So we need to get a group organized in here to make sure you can do this the right stuff. Okay. Thank you for that, Phil. Right, okay. That's looking good, I think. Just looking to see what's going on this morning. Okay, that looks new. That looks new. We'll take that. Okay. Right then. Okay, this is good. Right, I've got some homework. We need to take a look at what Clutch Dean has put in Discord regarding a potential fix for Quickget, and I need to look at some permissions for Bill and review some other stuff. So I might do a stream tonight. I'll see how I feel about that. But we are going somewhere new. Looks like there is some... Oh, no, we're not going there. We're going to cancel that because that is not English. And I've made that mistake before. Never goes across well. Okay, so... maybe I'm looking for people to raid because it's been a while. Let's go here. Let's go here. Right then. Right then, let's go and do that. So, thank you for coming, everyone. I might be back this evening, but if not, I'll definitely be back on Wednesday morning. And I'm going to be trying to stream a bit more regularly all round, really. So, let's go raiding. We're going to the Kitsy, I think it's called. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.